Now, two active members of the U.S. military are seeking resignations on conscientious grounds over American complicity in the war in Gaza. Air Force personnel Larry Hebert and Juan Bettancourt say they can no longer be complicit in Israeli war crimes that are being aided and abetted by the country they signed up to serve. The U.S. anti-war organization estimates there are at least 40 other military personnel seeking resignations on the same grounds. Well, Larry Hebert, a senior airman on active duty in the United States Air Force, joins us now. He does not speak for the military. He's speaking for himself. He joins us from Rota in Spain. Thank you so much for your time, sir. How difficult was it for you to come to this decision to leave the military? What led you to this point?
Yeah, and thank you. For me, it honestly wasn't a difficult decision. Me joining the military in the first place was partially due to, all of us, we want to serve people, the American people specifically, obviously, but there's no serving the American people in our current policies. We're doing a disservice to people around the world, and I strongly feel that. So that's why I had to apply as a conscientious objector, which has a long history in other conflicts as well as Vietnam and Iraq. So I'm actually proud to go in the footsteps of our prior conscientious objectors.
And at what point during the war, over the course of the last 8 months, did you go, okay, I've had enough, I can't do this anymore?
Honestly, really early on. I think in November, I actually learned about conscientious objecting, and I looked more into it, and I didn't know if I would qualify or not. But I think a lot of service members don't actually know entirely what it is and what their rights are. And so I think it's extremely important to highlight conscientious objector and show people that it is an option and you can take it. I think a lot of service members feel that they don't know what to do and they don't know how to act in this moment in the past almost a year now. And I think this is applying for separation, whether it be through conscientious objection or another form of administrative separation, is going to go a long way.
Larry, apologize for interrupting, but how have your superiors and colleagues reacted to your decision to do this?
Well, it doesn't really go internally. I haven't really been super public with it until now. But when I have brought it up to certain people, they haven't really, they've never either heard of the term or, so I've had to explain what it is to people. But yeah,
and what do they make of the reasons you give them that you are leaving, that you want to leave the army?
I don't think a ton of people actually have an opinion. I think most people are kind of focused on their own careers and their own lives. I don't think many people have an opinion either way.
And what about your colleagues? How do they generally view the war in Gaza? Is it something that's on everyone's radar? Do you discuss it? Discuss the US's support for Israel?
Yeah, it's sort of a taboo subject. Many people won't speak on the issue because I think most people can agree that what is going on is wrong in almost every way. But to speak on it while in service is basically taboo because you'd be speaking against U.S. policy. And so I think a lot of people are afraid to even touch the topic.
You also went on a hunger strike earlier this year, which can't have been very easy and presumably very difficult for those close to you. Why did you make that decision?
I got to a breaking point where I just didn't know what to do. And another major reason for it was the self-immolation of Aaron Bushnell, and the silence afterwards of our leadership in the military and in the government. Nobody would even say his name, and he was an active duty service member. So it was, for me, a pretty easy decision to just go straight to DC and try to figure out how I can help and how I can put my voice out there.
And how did the army react when you did that? I believe you did it when you were on leave.
Yep. So I took leave and I went to DC, and I tried different forms of protests and other ways to help. And then, they recalled me from my leave and sent me back after I tried to speak to the chief of staff. But ultimately, it ended up in a letter of reprimand, which isn't a major form of punishment at all. So I think for other people who are looking to do something, I wouldn't discourage anyone from acting in protest.
And you have small children, I believe, and have really been affected by some of the images you've seen from this war. Can you talk us through how you felt?
I'm not sure how anyone can see the images coming out of Gaza and not feel some sort of way. I think a lot of people may try to avoid looking, but I can't. I feel like I can't do that as a father and as a service member. And so it's been disturbing to see children that look just like my own dead and maimed in that fashion. And it was a very easy decision to come to this conclusion and oppose what's going on.
Really good to speak to you, Larry Hebert, Senior Airman on active duty United States Air Force. Thank you for speaking to Al Jazeera.
Thank you.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.